Sell Your Car UK is back and delighted to offer for sale this gorgeous Mazda 3 Sport. It was first registered in November 2007. It's on a 57 plate. It's taxed until the 31st of October 2013. It's got an MOT until the 11th of December 2013, and it was last serviced in July 2012, only 6,000 miles ago. It's only done 60,600 miles and has had 2 owners its whole life. Full service history, most of it done by Mazda, and it's been really well looked after by its current owner, who bought the car in 2010. It's in this lovely silver metallic. It comes with options on it like the rear parking sensors that you can see there. It's got electric windows front and back, electric mirrors. They're not electrically folding mirrors. It's also got a multi-function steering wheel with cruise control. I'll take you through the inside in a moment, but as we're going around the outside, you can see for yourself, it really is in lovely condition. It's a private sale, so there are going to be some marks on the car, and I'll take you through them as we go around. It also appears like it's had a little bit of a respray on the front bumper, and there's also a mark on that. In fact, let's get up close and personal with the car so you can see all of the detail for yourself, save you the hassle of coming down to see the car. You know exactly what you're coming to see if you do make that journey. Now, we've got a little bit of a mark here, a scar as I call it, on the front bumper, and you can see that starts just down here on the bottom there. I'm being very picky here, aren't I? I'm showing you everything. But I want to do that because if you are coming down to see the car, you'll know exactly, as I said, what you're coming to see. So it's obviously been bumped into something, maybe another car or a lamppost. And that's also just caused a tiny bit of misalignment here on the bumper to the bonnet. I'm being fussy, but as I said, it saves you time if it's not the right one for you. And if I go around this side as well, that little knock has also put a tiny little crack here in the trim. Now, if you wanted to get this whole bumper sorted out, it would cost you £150 if you use the people that we use. There's no point in the seller doing it. They're selling the car, so they've just reduced the price accordingly. And if you want to buy the car, you're getting a bargain here. Now, you might want to also get the bonnet resprayed if you're really fussy, because there are some stone chips on it, quite a few here. You can see them all appearing here on the screen. And if you want to check out pictures of this car, go to facebook.com/SellYourCarUK.TV, and you'll be able to see a load of close-up pictures, and you'll be able to see this car in all its detail. So I'm just showing you here, there are some stone chips on the bonnet. So if you wanted to get the whole front of this car looking absolutely ship-shape, then that will cost you about £350. Now, the price has been adjusted accordingly. Those aren't the only marks. I'll take you around the car in all its detail. So as we come around to this side here, you'll see a very slight little mark there. I'm being very fussy. The alloy wheel's got a bit of curbing to it here. The tyre is good. It was picked up in the last MOT that it was wearing thin on the edge, and you can see for yourself that that tyre is by no means wearing thin. That is a very new run flat tyre, and some very new brakes on there as well. If you have a look in there, there's quite a lot of life left on the pad as well, so there's nothing really needs doing to this car. If you were to service it yourself in July, it doesn't need a service for 12,500 miles. That's the service interval, so that's 6,000 odd miles to go, because it was last done 6,000 miles ago. But if you wanted to do it, all it would need would be really just an oil change. You're not going to need those brakes serviced or anything like that. You can see here the wing mirror is very clean, but there is a tiny little mark on it. Likewise, there's a tiny dimple dent here that's just about showing up. You can see that there, where someone evil has opened their car into this in a Tesco's or Sainsbury's car park. And there's another one just there. Maybe that one was done in Waitrose. Now, if we come around the car as well, I just want to show you, if I step back, those marks, they just vanish. You might be able to still see those little dimple dents because they obviously bend the light, but there's no big scratches, there's no big scrapes on this car. All the wheel arches are lovely as well. And we'll come back to this wheel here. This one is absolutely perfect. It's never been marked or anything. You can see that for yourself. And again, if I go back in close with the brakes, you can see there's lots of life there. This is a lip here, and if you can just do that and it's smooth, then you know there's lots of life left in those brakes. It's not that easy to see the pad on the video, but I can see it with my own eyes, and I can see there's lots of life left in there as well. And indeed, I have driven the car. I don't drive them on the video because I don't have the ability to do so without getting arrested, but I have driven it. It drives amazingly. It's a very hot hatch, this car. Now, if we come around the back here, tiny little mark there. I'm being really fussy, but I want you to see everything, because if you are coming to see the car, you know that it's been priced absolutely accordingly. That's a drop of water. I was going to say, I don't remember that, Mark. Parking sensors are here on the back. While we're around the back as well, I'm going to flick open the boot 5 minutes in, just to show you that we've got a load of docks as well. We've got the locking wheel nut. We've got the V5, the original V5, which shows one previous owner, so you would be the third owner of this car. Also to note, when the car was originally sold, it came with SuperGuard, which is paint protection, which is a really neat thing, which is why this car is quite shiny at the moment. It does keep its sheen. All the books, you've got all the manuals there. The service books for Mazdas aren't actually a stampable book. It's a digital service record which you update with Mazda. So I'll show you a printout in a moment for that. We've got a wallet here. Oh, there it is. It's not showing up brilliantly. So a lovely leather wallet, or maybe pleather. Over here we've got some spare car mats that will come with the car. Underneath here as well we've got a space saver spare, because obviously, actually I'm not going to do that, I'm going to move all my paperwork, but there's a space saver spare wheel under there. It comes with run flat tyres, but if there is something you need to put a space saver, I don't know why it's got a space saver, but it's got one, and all the tools as well. Now here we've got loads of docks. I'm just going to flick this open here, and just to show you, we've got the MOT certificates here. We've got all the old MOTs, although they're upside down for some reason, but we've got all the old MOTs on the car. The last MOT was done, as I said, in December 2012 on the 12/12/12, and that expires on 11/12/13. If you're buying lottery tickets and you buy this car, I know what numbers you're going to get. Now we've got a service record as well with the car. This has all been done by Premier Auto Care, who actually is the company that Sell Your Car UK uses with all of its clients' cars. And this car has been with them many, many times for little bits and little bobs. It's been very well looked after. Everything from the MOT to a full service. And we've got the bills to accompany it all as well. There's just a number of bills here. And this is the one that's most important, I think, for people who want to buy the car. This is that service. And it was done, if I show you down here, at the mileage of 54,000. Oh, that's not showing up brilliantly on the camera, but do check out facebook.com/sellyourcaruk.tv. You'll be able to see a copy of that bill. It was done at 54,872 miles, and that was done on the 19th of July 2012. Now there's other bills in here as well, but also I've got a printout here of that Mazda digital service record, and it shows all those previous services to that one were all done by Mazda. And we've got one here at 42,000 miles, another one at 26.5 almost, another one at almost 15 or 14.7, and that's that first ever service or pre-delivery inspection done at 10 miles, again done by Mazda. We have updated Mazda with the previous service as well, done from July, but we just don't have that printout. They actually forward that directly to the customer, so that will be arriving in the post very soon at the current registered keeper. And that current registered keeper, as I say, has been meticulous, because we've also got here from Romford Mazda, where they bought the car, their original sales invoice, which if you buy the car you'll see how much they paid compared to what you're paying. The original Mazda mileage check certificate to prove that the vehicle mileage is accurate, and indeed we also check here at Sell Your Car UK. We go through the National Mileage Register to make certain that the cars haven't been clocked, and indeed this car has absolutely no discrepancies on its mileage. It's HPI clear. I'm just showing you all the bump here. You've got loads of docs and stuff. This guy's kept every bit of paperwork relating to the car you could ever want. And as I say, this car's HPI clear. It's never been involved in a major accident. It's never been written off. It's never been stolen and recovered, and it's got no finance outstanding against it either. If I show you as well, while we're in the boot here, if that shows up, you've got split folding rear seats. They split 60/40. And why don't we now, at 9 minutes, go and have a look at the interior of the car. You've got 2 keys that come with it. They look like this. They are remote central locking, although this key that I am holding here now has a dead battery in it. It's the one that never got used. They do suggest that you do use them regularly just to keep those batteries charged. It's not hard to change the battery. It's not going to come with a new one. It is as it is. But this is the second key. The first key does have a working button on it, so you can use the remote central locking. Now as we open up the door, the first thing that strikes me is really how clean it is. Now there is a tiny little mark there, you can see that on the seat. That will shampoo out. There's very little wear though. There's a tiny bit of sagging just there, you can see that when I push that in, but there's no tears, there's no rips, and there's certainly no bad smells in here either. Not a smoker, no pets have been in the car. So it's really lovely. And these marks here, that will shampoo out. We haven't actually had it shampooed on the interior. The Mazda mats are there. As I said, you've got some spare ones in the boot. And over here, if I just show you on the door, with this very nice door trim, it's a lovely door card. You've got electric windows, front and rear, electric mirrors, and you've even got a full Bose sound system. You've got speakers in the back, speakers in the front, and little tweeters just up here. I want to show you as well on the wing mirror, you've got that very funky little mirror thing stuck on it. That's just from Halfords, but it's very useful. Just a blind spot eradicator. Down here we've got DSC, that's your stability control. You can turn that off if you're mental. And as we come in, this really is a hot hatch. I would not advise turning off the stability control. I'm just going to shut the door, and I'm going to take this key and I'm going to stick it in the ignition, and I'm going to turn the engine on, and you'll see it starts first time. And you'll see that all those warning lights go off. Amazing dash, I think you will agree. The only one that's going to stay on is this one saying, please put on your seatbelt, and this one down here saying please put in some fuel. That is how much fuel's coming with the car. Sorry. It's done 60,610 miles. I think I said 6. Oh no, it's done 4 more miles than I thought. And these lights are amazing, because if I actually turn on the lights, because if I show you here on the stalk, it's actually got auto, oh, you can't even see that. You'll see it in the pictures. It's got auto lights, but if I turn on the lights, so you've got that little green light coming up there, those are now backlit for driving at night time. It's lovely, and that's the daytime driving. Brilliant, I really love that, really cool. You've got a multi-function steering wheel, so you can adjust the volume and change between CD, and it's a 6-disc CD player in here, all front loading. And over this side, you've got your cruise control and auto wipers. You never need to take your hands off the steering wheel in this car. Over here in the middle, we've got the stereo, which is Bose, so I'm going to turn it on, and you'll see, did you see the lights? It's like Knight Rider. Okay, don't judge us, we like heart. I'm going to turn this up, and you'll see these lights, they do this very cool thing. And likewise as well, if I use the controls on the steering wheel, you can see that doing that as well. Oh, it's very cool. It's like Knight Rider. And it's a 6-disc, multi-disc CD player, as you can see down there. And you've got a trip computer. I'm going to turn that off. You've got a trip computer as well, which if I press info, it will show up as the fuel consumption is 26.4 miles per gallon. Someone's been driving it very nicely. And then you've also got all these other bits and bobs here. Shows your trip. Yeah, it will also show you live consumption as well. Down here, very cool. If you know what this does, well, you're a better man than me. It's well worth reading the manuals. It comes with all the manuals. There's a lot of reading to be done. And it also comes with air conditioning, as you can see down here. And that's got the air conditioning button there. And then you've got auto here, so it'll just keep the temperature as it is. And just below that is this amazingly good 6-speed gearbox, which is a pleasure to use, it's got to be said. This car drives beautifully. Now, if we go around the passengers here, this seat here is mint. Really nowhere. I think this person's driven everywhere on their own, and likewise in the back as well. It's really clean. You've got ISOFIX points if you want to plug in your babies. You've got a center armrest if you want to sit there in comfort, and you've also got 3x3 safety harnesses in the back there. So those means you can put 3 adults in the back safely, and they can all plug in and not feel like they're going to go through the windscreen if you have an accident. God forbid. You should have an accident. Hello, you can see me. So that's the inside of this car. Have I missed anything? Oh, I suppose so. Yeah, you've got a little storage there, and then you've got a little bit more storage there. Then you've got your cup holders and a bit more storage there. And then you've got an ashtray there that's never been used, as you can see. And you've got a little power socket / cigarette lighter just there. It's lovely. It really is lovely. Oh, I feel I'm missing something. What have I missed? I couldn't possibly have. We've been doing this for almost 14 minutes now. What have I missed? Is there anything? I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to jump out the car. I think that's it. Oh no, I have missed stuff. I was going around the car, wasn't I? So we're on this side of the car now, and there are some marks to show you here as well. And I want to show you the wheels as well. Again, another wheel here that's not got any curbing on it, but there is a little bit of what's called pitting. So it's well worth, if you've got alloy wheels, or if indeed if you buy this car, every month or so, just wipe down all of the brake dust off of the wheels, because it does get in to the actual alloy itself and can cause what you can see there, that little bubbling. Nothing serious though. Again, very clean discs on this side as well. There's no need for a change on there, and it's hard for you to see, especially the way that this wheel is positioned, but those pads, there's plenty of life left in there as well. And again, all the tyres are good. This one at the back here is actually the one with the lowest amount of tread on it, and you can see that just going around there. It is still well within the legal limit though, no need for a change just yet, but that will probably need changing within a couple of thousand miles, I would have thought. And as we stay on this side here, there's a little scratch just there that looks like somebody's tried to touch it up. I'll name no names, it certainly wasn't us at Sell Your Car UK, but that really is tiny. And if you're fussy about that, well, go and buy a car from a dealership and pay another £1,000 for it. That's what I say. There's tiny little rust spots here as well. Looks like somebody's nicked into the car as they were trying to get into the back of it, because I suppose somebody sat in the back then. But those, if you wanted to get that sorted out with that little scratch there, it would mean that you'd have to respray this whole panel here, which would cost you about £150. Why bother? Now, as we come around the car some more, you'll see there are no little dents, no little dings on this side. No evil person has opened their car door into this one, so it really is in lovely condition. Indeed, even the wing mirror housing is spotless, so it's not been banged through any width restrictions or anything like that. There's a tiny little bit of scraping here that won't come out with the teacup, but if you are going to get the bonnet resprayed because of all those stone chips, then they will sort that out as well. You can see that there, that's showing up quite nicely. It's tiny though, and really nothing to be picky about, and you probably didn't even notice it until I told you about it. And down here on the front bumper, which again, if you're going to get the front bumper sorted out, they'd sort that out as well. Tiny little scrape. Obviously somebody trying to get in or out of a parking space has had a little bit of a sort of a scrape against this, but it's minuscule. And we're just going to end on this wheel here, where there is some curbing, as you can see, but again, those tyres have got plenty of tread in them. There's a little bit of pitting going on this alloy wheel as well, and you've got your locking wheel nut, which is a good thing. And look at that, brand new discs, and the pads are in there. Not that easy to see. Maybe I should have moved the wheels a bit, but the pads are good. No need for a change on that. So that is the Mazda 3 Sport. It's been a long video. I appreciate you watching it, but there's been a lot to show you here, and I don't want to waste anyone's time. And if it is the car for you, well, there's only one place to get it: Sell Your Car UK.